Good morning, everyone. We're here with Shawn, the local X-Ray driver. You've probably seen him in a lot of our other X-Ray unboxing videos, and when we did the comparison to the XB8 21 and the XB8 20. So he is here to show off his brand new kit. So what'd you get?
This is the new XB8 23. So a lot of changes on this one. A lot of stuff I think people have been anxiously awaiting, and we'll be going into it here shortly.
So what I'm going to do is he's going to do the unboxing, and we're going to talk about some of the changes, and what we're going to do is anything that he would add as an additional part and piece to his kit, we're going to throw down in the description below so you can make sure you can outfit your XB8, this one's the Nitro, or your XB8E in the same manner. So I'm going to hand the floor over to Shawn, and we're going to start unboxing this beautiful XB8.
Okay, so as we said, we're going to delve into this. One thing I'm going to point out, some people may have already heard on social media and the internet and all that other kind of fun stuff. There was some issues with the initial release of the kit that happened in Europe with the bulkheads. X-Ray then went back, reassessed it, redesigned the bulkhead so there's actually a V2. So to know that you've got your V2, you can see right here, there's a decal that's been placed on there saying, letting you know that your kit has been updated with the new V2 bulkheads and everything. So you know you've got the latest, greatest, best of the best. Okay? So this one, I haven't even looked at it, haven't even opened it myself yet. So this is officially and truly the first unboxing. So we'll cut the seals.
On an X-ray box, gotta make sure to cut both.
Yeah, they are on both sides. And pull it out of the old decorative sleeve.
Oh, nice snag. Oh.
Almost. And then we'll
see the glorious parts and pieces inside.
So as usual, you get your certificate of authenticity from X-Ray. And then on this time on top, most times it's in the bottom, but on top is the manual with your decals and masks and everything for your body. In here also you can see there's a full parts list, and on the other side there's actually a 3D rendering of everything, schematic of all the parts. So again, I think maybe this got shuffled probably because of I think they had to open and repackage for those V2 bulkheads. But this is the new chassis. So they've added some extra milled out some spots for engineering in the flex into the chassis. And that also, chassis has been redesigned to accommodate for the new split bulkheads now.
It's a marginally lighter gold too.
It is a little bit different anodizing to it. Yeah, it's almost.
That's the first thing I noticed. I might not come up through the camera, but yeah, usually I think the other chassis were a smidge darker.
Yeah, almost more of a bronzy color, whereas these are almost a little more on the gray side.
Yeah, very much so. But yeah, really nice milling. You can see all of the extra CNC marks, all the beautiful stuff that X-Ray's got going on there.
And then you got, so this year, kit comes with stock the carbon fiber rear shock tower. So another one of the changes for the 23 is now on the shock standoffs. It's still the standard 3 mil for the shock side, but on the standoff side that goes through the shock towers is now 4 mil. And that's just for added durability, so there's no lessening any chance of any failures in that due to a really hard crash. You know, you got that you know, sending it hard over the triple and you get that wicked tomahawk going.
You're not gonna break a carbon tower.
Yeah, or just standoffs as well. And as usual, each package is labeled with whoever packaged it in the factory. Still the standard aluminum front though. So, you know, just for durability reasons, I think just, you know, that one's always standing up and on its own in the front, aluminum front, but they have gone to the carbon fiber rear.
And now on the new 23, there's also multiple positions in the front for tower holds.
That's correct, yeah. As opposed to just in the rear, now it's also in the front.
Yeah, because I remember on the 21s, was it just 3?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, it makes sense because with the front pill insert for the upper arm position, there's a lot of load on that in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
With getting pushed over if you lawn dart it, or the arms get pushed forward. So
yeah, and it does come with the graphite servo saver arm, the graphite composite servo saver arm. So that's what they classify as like their strongest composite and stiffest as well. So on the steering, since we're talking about that, they did redesign the Ackerman plate to allow, and a little taller on the servo saver to accommodate for one of the big changes with the bulkhead. Besides just being split for easy access, we now also have eccentrics for adjusting the diff height, like
right,
you see
yeah.
in 10 scale. We've now got that transitioning over into 8 scale. So here you can see, so another change is the new front arms with these 2 holes here to accommodate for either the braces or the little winglets that they're offering now. They give a little more added steering on your high speed tracks. Probably something you'd see more on the European tracks and that, but it is now part of the kit.
And then another thing is that new front bumper.
And the new front bumper.
I just saw a corner of it, like, oh, the new front bumper.
Yeah, so that is the new redesigned front bumper to accommodate for the new bulkheads.
Yeah, a little bit smaller from what I gather too.
Yeah. And then just your lower arms here.
And then nothing changed lower arms,
No,
right?
they are unchanged, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's all medium compound stuff?
They are medium compound, yes. You can actually, if you look, I don't know if it'll show up on the camera, but you can see the M.
The double M's there, yeah.
On the rear arms here, still the standard, what we call the standard rear arms. One upgrade we'd recommend, and we'll, like as Aaron said, we'll pin the part numbers in the description. Here, especially for North American tracks, they tend to be with the bigger jumps, a little bumpier in that. Yeah, getting more character thing is the LSM arms. So that's the low shock mount arms. So they actually really do help with just locking in that rear end and just getting through the bumps a lot nicer with the way with the geometry, how it changes on that.
For sure.
Okay.
So we'll tag the left and the right LSM arm in the description below.
Yes, because they are side dependent, yeah. They're not universal from one to the other. Next bag we got, so hub carriers, wing mount, a little bit of a change on the wing mount, the wing mount, again, just to accommodate for the new bulkheads.
So just hole spacing, things like that?
Things like that.
Did center driveline change any on this year?
No.
No? Same? Okay.
No. That's pretty much all the same there. Next big one we'll see here, so the diffs. So this is one of the big changes. So now 46 ring gear to 13 pinion. First, I believe the old one was 44-14.
Yep.
So also to accommodate that now, because now it's like a higher ratio. So more jam out of the corner, less top end. So now they're offering it now comes with the 14 tooth clutch bell, but it's still the 3-shoe clutch. So if you are wanting to go or already have the 4-shoe clutch, you're gonna want this guy right here. So this is the 14 tooth 4-shoe clutch. This is actually the lightened one, so it's the same part number, just drop the L.
Yeah, so the one thing you will notice is 3 ball bearing. That is not a lie. It does have 3 bearings holding it to ensure.
And the clutch bell does come with them.
Yeah, it ensures the bell does not have any deflection, and you're gonna get even shoe wear and a lot of durability out of it too.
Yes, yeah, it's especially with all the heat that you see in your clutch assembly.
Yeah, high traction tracks are really pushing those limits.
For sure. And then you got your center diff. So front and rear diff are one size, and you can see how much larger that center diff cup is. That's not a new feature. That's been one that's been around for a little while. But
and then spur gear changes as well, or just the internal drive?
Just the internal. 46 tooth spur is what it still comes with.
Okay.
At least on the Nitro. And your body, that's the easy body.
Yeah, they're always a really nice body. They brought that one in 2021.
Yes.
And they've kind of kept it since. Really nice design, some really nice side wicker, and a really nice duckbill on the back. So a lot of downforce on that shell.
Speaking of duckbill, so now the rear wing actually has provisions and comes with, you can see the holes here, for a wicker bill. Whereas before it was just your standard, I mean, you could still drill the backs of it, like you see a lot of the pros do, but now it actually has provisions and is molded in for the wicker bill.
Does that come with the kit or something you have to buy
I
separately?
believe it comes with, I haven't seen, right here.
There it is.
There it is.
I was like, I haven't seen it yet,
Yep.
so
Just packaged separately, but it does come with the wicker bill.
comes with your hardware and everything.
Yep.
Very nice.
You betcha. And here is the much anticipated and talked about new bulkheads. So it's not only the diff has eccentrics, but also the pinion as well. So you're maintaining that optimum gear mesh between the two, between your ring and pinion.
So if you want to run a lower ride height where the drive shafts will have an upwards angle, you can actually move the diff up to keep your drive line square.
Right. Yeah. That's the premise behind it, is being able to always keep your drive line flat, so it's not always wanting to either suck the arms up or push the chassis up or push it down.
Yeah.
And that because of when the drivetrain gets spinning, not to get too much into the whole physics of it, when the drivetrain's spinning, it always wants to straighten out.
Yeah. So an easy way to think about that for sure. So yeah, and then with this bulkhead, these are the new V2s.
Yes.
And from what we gather and what we've seen.
What it is so in this area here, they strengthen it, and then for dust intrusion and that, they stepped the sides of it for where the two parts interlock together a little bit more.
So it should be quite a bit tougher now on these new V2s.
Yeah, stronger and fight any dust intrusion into the gearbox.
So I haven't seen how they're going to sell these part numbers yet from RC America or X-Ray. So we'll keep an eye out. We're going to go through the manual and find the original part number and just see if they're just going to replace that part number with the new part as an in-run change.
Well, I
or
think
if
it
they're
has
going
it
to
in
have a
here.
V2.
You can see there's a bunch of documentation in here.
Yeah, I wonder if they're just going to put like a V2 behind it or something.
That's what
we'll keep everyone updated.
We know that's what they've done in the past, so we'll,
yeah.
Once we go through this here, we will be sure to update everyone and have that in the pinned comments or pinned description. Sorry.
Perfect.
And then your brakes. So one difference in the brakes, and I just had it here and then it rolled away. So you can see there now on the screw where the actual brake pads are operating is now machined smooth. There's no threading on there, so there's nothing to hang it up and that to keep that brake operation nice and smooth and not have anything sticky with the operation of the brakes. They do still use the springs in between to get your return. When you set your your gap, it'll stay at that throughout the whole time.
Nice. So just working on consistency there, which is nice.
Yeah. The standard X-ray shocks, always a super high quality shock. So that's your rears.
Give you a lot of shock pistons. These are probably one of the best shock boots on the market by far. So they are an accordion style shock boot, and they're made out of a very different material for the rubber, and they're a little bit thicker than most too. They don't add a lot of resistance, but they do kind of have a ton of durability.
They really key in well, so they don't ride up or hang down or anything like that.
Yeah.
One change here on the shocks now is the lower shock mount now has this little tab. You might not be able to see it on the video, but there's a little tab now on the lower mount that the lower spring mount keys into, so you don't get it wanting to get spun around by the spring.
That's
through
nice.
Its operation. So
That's
it's not wanting to twist up and potentially tear that shock boot like we were just talking about.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Yeah, and then still have the honeycomb bladders from factory, not an option part.
Yeah.
And there is still soft non-honeycomb bladders you can buy. There's harder versions of it. So there's a whole bunch of different things.
A lot of tuning options in the shocks.
What do you recommend for shocks? I know this is a great debate between all the team drivers, and I know we've had this conversation when I was running X-Ray as well in the 8 scale stuff.
Generally, I run the zero rebound shocks, and I run them with the soft bladder non-honeycomb. So that then gives I find just the plushest feel, and with the zero rebound you do get zero rebound with it.
Yeah, so without having emulsion style, still a bladder, still air on top of the bladder, and keeping the air in a chamber above the oil, and still getting almost zero rebound. So really makes the car a lot more stable from what I remember.
Just super predictable.
Yeah.
And you can, so repeatable. You can make that shock the same every single time.
Yeah.
Other than if you change the shock oil to accommodate your your conditions at that time. You know, temperature goes up or the track isn't as bumpy as it was, or is more bumpy, so you go to a little softer shock load, changing your pistons and all that kind of stuff. You play around with that a lot.
Yeah,
and
yeah, hole size, hole count, all that good stuff. Yeah,
you betcha. You betcha. And then your bearings. So they package all the bearings here together. To be honest, I run the stock bearings in all my kits. The only thing change I do is I will take, and those that are greased, I'll take clean the grease out and then just oil them.
Fair. A little bit for your drivetrain.
Yeah, you'd sacrifice maybe a little bit of durability in the long run, potentially. I know some guys now. This is kind of just a bit of a pro tip, but with a bit of an addendum, you will see more bearing wear with it. So some of the guys will take the ones that have the rubber seal on it, and the cage side, they'll go cage side out, to facing outside, and they'll actually take the rubber seal completely out of it and then oil it. Like take the grease out, oil it, and just have that inside. I mean, you're not getting as much dust as if it was outside, but without that rubber seal, you are going to get dust in, and it's going to adversely affect. But if you want the absolute ultimate and maintenance isn't an issue to you, that would be one of the ways to that a lot of guys go to have the freest drivetrain with the stock model.
Fair. Well, I mean, the one thing with X-Ray too, and this has been on a lot of their XB8 models, is 8x16 mil pinion bearings. So there is really not many small bearings in this pack, as you can see.
I think the only small ones are for the steering Ackerman plate.
Yeah, steering Ackerman plate, and they do include obviously the 2 bearings for probably the clutch in here as well.
Yes,
because that's the whole bearing kit.
So on the 3 shoe, it is just 2 bearing. On the 4 shoe, it is a 3 bearing.
So more standard on the 3 shoe versus 4. Yeah. And then talking about 3 shoe.
Yeah, there it is, and with your engine mounts as well. So yeah, there's your standard and the tank standoffs and that sort of stuff in there. So.
Yeah, 3 aluminum shoes, nothing crazy.
Yeah,
pretty standard stuff.
Pretty standard, yeah. Just a little bag of extra hardware that X-Ray includes with all their kits. And this one would be our front shocks. It's all very similar, all the same changes with the rears as on the fronts. Yeah.
Nothing too crazy there.
No. So in case anybody asked, and I did mention them earlier about the zero rebound, these are what they call the standard. The big difference on the zero rebound is that it's machined larger at the top where the cap goes, and the cap is larger. So you can put the bladder inside the cap and then put it all together that way. Whereas with the standard, you have to put the bladder in the body and then screw the cap on.
Good tip.
Radio tray, nothing really has changed there over the last few years, so it's all standard. Radio tray, receiver, throttle, your steering up here, and then the battery box right there. Using your standard like LiPo that you see in a lot of most of the cars, the Mugen associated X-Ray, all use basically the same battery.
Yeah, we were using like a Gens Ace 2400s.
That's right.
Stick pack, and they fit pretty phenomenal in there. Yeah,
they were pretty dead on. Mud guards, these are unchanged from 22, maybe even 21. I think they made the change where they beveled them more here at the front for more clearance, and brought them back just for tire ballooning and that sort of thing.
That was a big change on the XB4 for this year, like we chatted about. Yeah,
big difference. Just the standard air filter, you know, your bits and pieces, wing stays. There you can see standoff in there.
Yeah, it's a pretty chunky standoff on that. Very, very nice change.
Okay. Your shock springs, front and rear together. All your oils, some good hoodie oils.
And just as an addendum, that is not blue thread lock. That's air filter oil.
Air filter oil, yeah. And then our tank.
Not changed from last year?
No, unchanged. Still has the spacers inside. I think most people for club racing still run without it. You'd basically, these spacers only be if you're running, say, like a IFMAR or national event.
Yeah, where you have to.
Be, any event where you'll be getting teched for those sort of things.
Fuel capacity stuff.
Yeah. And that is it. Other than the standard compulsory.
Antenna too.
Does anybody use these? Please comment if you still use your antenna. I'm interested.
Okay, time out though. Like full length though, because I still use an antenna. It's just not full length.
Just
like
I
don't do the whip antenna.
Well, I know. Okay. Do you use the full length, so it sticks out of the body antenna versus just something short enough to stick in there to plug the hole so you don't get dust in your receiver box?
Okay, so full length or shorty. Comment down below how you run your antenna. Perfect. Well, thank you, Shawn, so much for coming and showing off your brand new XB8.
Yeah, I look
23.
We'll probably be giving everyone an update, see how we're finding the changes. One other thing I didn't mention, with the changes of the bulkhead now, and if anybody that's had or knows people that have the X-Ray in the past, so your A, B, C, and D blocks were all held together by a really coarse thread. We always joked and called them they look like drywall screws that were Phillips head. Those are gone now. So with the change to the new split bulkhead, the entire car, all hardware is hex.
Thank the Lord and the stars above.
Yeah. All hex screws for all the hardware, so you can put that Phillips head screwdriver in the back of your toolbox, and that just in case somebody else, comes up with an older model and we want to give them a hand. But on the new one, the 23 now, you no longer need that Phillips head screwdriver.
Thank goodness. I appreciate it. So anybody that's interested in the new XB8 Nitro Electric or XT8 Nitro Electric, please give us a Facebook message, an email, or a phone call. We do have the access to the new V2 kits with the new V2 bulkheads, as you see in this kit. They were holding them back because they did know they have issues in Europe before the North America market got them. So RC America, I'll give them huge kudos for this. They held back the kits until they had this issue rectified. And then they started shipping out all the new kits. So if you'd want to pre-order a new V2 kit, give us a shout here at Ultra. Thanks again for Shawn for coming, showing us his new kit. And we'll keep you updated on this brand new XB8. So hopefully everyone has a great day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit the bell to get notifications when we post one. And like he said, give this video a like. So have a good one, everyone. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.